2, 1. I think this is. Hey, we're live, everybody.
This is 2OF Entertainment. What could be more reprehensible than 2 old farts? 3 old farts featuring Dave and Steven and Greg Shapiro with funny ha-ha.
Hey, we're back. Who knew?
Yeah.
Funny ha-ha. Note, it might just be funny weird.
It could be funny weird, yes. Well, the funny
Can I just comment before we start the show that last time somebody got the credits wrong as well because they said, oh, it didn't have intro written on it. Right. There you go.
Listen.
It's an age thing. It's an age thing.
Here's how I look at it.
You know,
All I know is the person who runs our board, we're going to have him shot. There you go. So,
yeah. Well,
that's
that's not a difficult thing to do in America. You just go outside and, speak in a funny accent and somebody will come along and shoot you. So,
apparently. So we can talk about that. It's up to it's Greg's show. We'll talk about whatever we want. So there you go. Oh yeah, we have. He's
got a funny accent. We should shoot him as well.
He's an American. So we've got the ICE story. We've got gold. We've got what else have we got? Oh, Musk. We've got Elon Musk combining all of his companies because he's bored. I don't know. NASA's going to the moon apparently this month. Apparently
Melania's going with it. Melania's going with it. They're going to be showing the
the Melania.
Movie
Got the Melania
on the
documentary that came out. Yeah. Documentary that came out made $7 whole million, and in South Africa they took it down the next day because nobody went to go see it. I know that because Rob Vega from Vaguely News sent me a whole article on it to say, hey, this is really funny. I was like, okay.
I love it that they showed Melania at the Kennedy Center and Trump closed down the Kennedy Center
for 2 years for restoration.
And no one knew about this. This is when I try to use my, side gig as getting inside that man's head, and scary as it may be. But these unplanned moments that speaks to me. When he was it just a coincidence that the No Kings protest happened back in October, and then the next thing you know, someone tears down the east wing of the White House and
a ballroom, a gala ballroom.
Sure, to make room for. But it's these wild. It's like a tantrum basically, and well, so yes, everything's to distract from the Epstein files, but now. There are some Epstein files that seem
apparently
pretty specific and incriminating. I saw one document with some redacted stuff, but a lot that was not redacted and very graphic. Did you guys see that or no?
I'm not allowed to read things like that apparently because I get too excited and want to make a movie. So what did you read that was graphic? And please leave no details out.
Well, it was from a source I trust. It was from votemaster.com. Sorry, Votemaster. I'm sorry, electoralvote.com.
Okay.
And the blogger is named Votemaster. But anyway, no, there's an official journalistic sift through all of these, the latest dump of 3 million documents, and that are still. The majority are still under wraps, apparently.
Yeah.
But it's good, though, I guess, that we get. You can't go through all of them at once. Surely, give the journalists a chance. But what I saw was,
I wondered really. Your publishers would be really happy if you got mentioned 1,000 times in the document. Would you not?
Yeah. But again, that's what That's what also makes me think inside Trump's head. Here's a man who has no shame, the Access Hollywood tape. No problem. I'm not going to apologize for that. Right. And everything else down the line. So many things that would be disqualifying for any other politician. He's like, nope, I'm good with it. But this is the thing that he wants to keep under wraps. What is in there? was almost wondering if it's something that would scare only him, like Bill Clinton. He is in there doing something with Bill Clinton, but it's just Bill Clinton like rocking him like a baby and saying, I care for you as a human being. That's what he's like. I don't know. That's the scariest thing. I don't know. I can only imagine.
Well, we're going to find out now because Bill and Hill are going to be before Congress, aren't they? Now they can't avoid it any longer. So they're going to
full disclosure. Yeah. Apparently, that's what they're aiming for. Yeah.
Full disclosure. Yeah.
And which bill are we talking about? Bill Gates.
Yeah. Well,
Bill Gates. Bill Gates. There's a whole thing now with Bill Gates. We've got
allegedly.
Well, Prince Andrew, we all know is true because we've seen the video. Anyway,
hey, that is not right.
That's right. It's not right.
Andrew, just Andrew.
Just Andrew. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry, Andrew. The guy that was part of the royal family for a while, and then they went. So it's
they're just building a large house. Well, they're just building a large wall to put around the house that he's going to live in. So that's fine.
A great big wall.
A great big wall. Yeah. And it's going to be guarded by Mexicans, so he'll never get out. So,
well, you mentioned Trump knocking down the east or west or north wing, whatever he wanted to do in the White House because it was old. I think he's just getting ready for the 2028 coronation. I think that's what this is all about. I'm thinking, hail to the king. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, you could ask Andrew because Andrew was sort of giving people free, the opportunity to sit in the throne in Buck House. So, all these mates.
I heard that. Okay.
Yeah. Allegedly, Mr. Epstein sat in the proverbial chair. There you go.
Wow.
I mean, I would imagine they all do that.
Well, no, there are certain places in Buck House but you're allowed to walk around Buck House.
Right.
But there are certain parts of it you're not allowed in.
Right.
Like the throne room, for instance, you're not allowed to sit in there because. I mean, Lizzie was alive then, so probably had a knitting next to it. They didn't want to.
Is this how all British people speak about the royal family? Buck House?
No, only Republicans like me. So,
okay. Republicans, Stephen, that means something very different in the UK.
I was going to say that's not exactly what we think over here.
There's no other word for it, I'm afraid. But
well, it's
if you can keep it.
If you can, come on, it's the UK. If it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German. Anyway, so let's just throw that in.
No, well, if we're going down that street, I would, as I said on many occasions, if America had been any good, we'd have kept it. But there you go. We let you boys run, and now look what you're doing to yourselves. I mean,
I was trying to make it funny. The British and the Netherlands have also had a classic rivalry, but way back in the 1600s. The Brits don't like to talk about that apparently because I was reading this book this summer. Oh, it's Taking Manhattan. It's right up there. Anyway, so it's the story of like how New Amsterdam became New York,
right?
But in all of the global colonial property swapping. In the 1600s,
right
around 1688, the British King James at that point was so unpopular that the base of support basically sold him out and wrote a little note to the King of the Netherlands or the Stadthout or whatever, the leader of the Netherlands, and said, "Hey, there is a vacancy here. If you would want to do this latest Anglo-Dutch war thing and just if you'd want to march on in and we're going to tell James he needs to be away for a bit and take his military with him.
Oh, wow.
This is when he's going to be gone. This is when you march in. So apparently in historical terms, it's called the Glorious Revolution. But anyway, I'm just thinking about half of the United States.
He was married to his daughter because James decided he was more Catholic than Protestant.
Yeah.
But his daughter, Mary, she was a Protestant, and that was her husband, was Prince of Orange, Prince of Orange.
In the United States, we have William and Mary University, and that's the William and Mary.
Yeah, exactly. But they always talk about England as England has only been invaded. Once they say 1066 by the Normans. They've forgotten about, of course, whoever Julius Caesar who came before that. And of course, when he arrived with his army,
so who's he?
Marched,
William
of Orange.
Yes.
He was greeted with people, waving orange pieces of material.
They'll greet us as liberators.
They waved him from Southampton or Portsmouth, wherever he came in, right up into London. They were pleased to see him because he was a Protestant. So there you go.
Yeah. So and
then it's goodbye, James. Then because he was a wanker,
indeed.
So nobody liked him anyway.
I'm just the idiot that came up with the King James Bible. Was that the idiot?
No, there's loads of Jameses.
Oh,
that was the first James. I guess.
You got a lot of incest on your side of the pond. Just saying, I was just curious. So
I'm just
Stephen, please don't refer to the Church of England like that. It's very important.
Make believe religion and a make believe church. Okay.
So you're an American. Don't talk to me about make believe churches. I mean, come on.
First of all, there's only one true God, and we all know it. It's the Federal Reserve. And I bow to Mecca. The money. I bow to the Mecca, which is the New York Federal Reserve, 5 times a day. So
isn't their king leaving then? The Fed Reserve, he's leaving, isn't he? The king,
Powell,
a new king.
Well, we don't know yet. Powell, I think in May, is going to go bye-bye. They're going to bring in this other guy who is so 180 of what Trump wants. Everyone's like, what's going on? So apparently he drank the Kool-Aid and he'll be getting in line, and they think we're going to drop 25 or 50 basis points by March or May, I forget. And that'll be interesting because consumer spending is still at an all-time low because people are uncertain about the economy here in America.
Investors are uncertain.
Everybody's uncertain. There's more. There's like $10 trillion sitting on the sideline. Most of it in my closet over there. But there's $10 trillion sitting on the sideline. And people are just waiting to see. Even gold yesterday took a plunge. Like it was at 5,000 and change and dropped to 45. Like in 4,500 a minute, gold was over 100. Dropped
historically, it's still pretty high, right?
Or gold, it's an all time high.
Okay, but also gold, crypto took a hit, and the U.S. dollar.
Everything's taking a hit. Well, the new thing with crypto now is the stable.
Goodbye, America. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Just wave your goodbye. Yeah. As you sink into the morass of poo.
Had a good run.
It had a good run. Welcome to America.
Before we get back, I want to get back to the economy moment, but if I can wrap up the history thing, I didn't mean to just drop a big history turd bomb in the podcast. I'm trying to say
Craig. What change a habit of a lifetime, mate? That's what I'm saying.
Why make anything different than usual?
Come on. I'll put it in my new show. You can watch it about there, but but fine. Oh God,
the economy you were talking about.
Yes, we're on the economy now. I know.
Well, no, we were talking about English history. You wanted to make a final point, and then you interrupted.
Mark Carney gave his speech at Davos. The middle powers need to unite. And basically, then EU goes to India and says, "Hold my beer." So that new potential trade deal is going to be worth, I don't know, however, 27 trillion market. Right. But I mean, the U.S. also has made a deal now with India. I don't know if that'll turn into anything, but sorry, since Mark Carney gave his speech, I think half of the United States is thinking maybe we tell Donnie to go take the military and be out of town for a while, and then Mark Carney, is the new William of Orange.
Oh my God!
They'd be waving blue flags. Anyway, that's just it's funny how history repeats itself. It just depends on which history.
I was just going to say,
cosplay or is it
history goes to the victors? Yes, that's very true. But it's very, it's just interesting. Even at Davos, when Trump went there, like I watched his speech and like
did you?
I did. He riffed for 2 hours. And I got to give him credit. He's like the guy can riff for 2 hours. I'm like, I mean, he didn't say anything, but he riffed for 2 hours, and every now and then he had a gem, and I was like, "Ooh, that's important."
But I was disappointed with that, though, the Trump speech, to be honest, because I thought that at least he had to put a pair of shades on, because I mean that was like the thing to do,
like Mark.
For sure.
But he didn't, I mean, surely he would have. Surely his marketing people would have said, like, Donnie, we sell these sunglasses, right? Get them on, and then you'll blow the French.
Whoa! This is a family show, my friend. We don't blow anybody. I'm just saying. Just so you know, little boy Blue, because he needed the money anyway. So for those people that really are into
wasn't he one that wasn't he the one who put his finger in the dike, or was it another one?
Well, no, that's everybody that goes to Amsterdam. So the important thing, Greg's like, that's true. No, it was just interesting to watch him at Davos, and then Musk came and talked to Davos, and everybody fell asleep. And it was sort of like, we're like, okay. And now Elon is being Elon, and then like I said, we're going to the moon. On the economy here in America and globally. So you got Canada trying to make a deal with China because they're like, screw you, America. Donnie just put up $12 billion or $120 billion to have a mineral surplus. That's going to be interesting. They're trying to do a deal with India. By the way, when you said 27 million or 27 trillion, that was rubles. So it's about $6 US. So we're good. So it's saying, hey, get your shoes, please. And so it's more 7-Elevens are coming. Thank God. So we have that. You have the Chinese who have the #1 car in the world with BYD. And we won't let BYD here because it would just kill everything, including Tesla. So
well, they go to Canada, aren't they? I think Carney signed a deal with the Chinese. They're going to build cars in Canada.
Yeah, they're going to build BYD. He's going to build cars. BYD is the best. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, #1 car in the world. And
wouldn't that be great? The Canadians will sort of park them all the way along the border, and they don't need whistles. They just hoot the horn all the time.
But listen, we travel globally, and people don't not like us. They like Americans. They just don't like the president. They don't like his policy. They don't think all Americans are like.
You can say that everybody likes Americans. I mean,
everybody I've ever met.
I tolerate them.
Oh, God.
Is that the same?
Yeah. I mean, listen, everyone we've thrown out a window said they loved us. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
So my point is though, everybody, it's just the policy. It's just the game. And I think once you understand that, you're okay. And I think if you don't, in there lies the rub.
I was at an event, a bankers event, actually, and I was asked to give a keynote speech, at this event called the U.S. Update, the annual update, and it was for startups, but scale-ups, so Dutchies that are starting up, and they want to expand, and so there were financial analysts, and they're from from the U.S., but also from the Netherlands, and admitting like. If you're a BYD, for example, with a big company that you want to expand, there's still the market to expand into is the United States because even though consumer spending might be low, by whatever, trending the wrong way, but it's still historically high. Anyway, but so they had a speaker there who was from the U.S. Embassy, and I think the U.S. Embassy guy was banking on this idea that we're not going to talk about current politics, okay, but I mean on a personal basis, right, we're still we're Americans, and so anyway, they said to me like, oh, don't you feel like, isn't it awkward, don't you feel nervous trying to go on stage and make jokes after this guy from the current Trump appointed embassy? And I actually said, I feel worse for that guy who's trying to tell these people, oh, yeah, you should invest in the U.S. That's a safe bet. Nothing unpredictable going on over there.
Yeah, everything's great here. Don't worry about it.
You'd be fine until he was out drinking a cup of coffee in Starbucks and the ICE boys truck in, and then they hear him speak, and they can arrest him because he doesn't sound like they sound like.
Yeah, Dutch accent is not so bad though. You just have to remind people that who built the wall in Wall Street. That was the Dutch.
Who's gonna know that in America? I mean, come on.
Nobody. That's the problem. No, and if you want to talk about ICE, so what they did is they removed the head guy that was in Minneapolis and they replaced him with another guy.
The Nazi, you mean?
Calm down.
He was a Nazi. He was dressed like a Nazi. He wanted to be a Nazi. He looked like he should have been a Nazi.
There is a term for people who cosplay as Nazis.
That's right. It's
called Nazis.
Gestapo.
Right. Go ahead, Steve.
So, but no, if they removed him, they put another. So things are calming down. We don't seem to be shooting U.S. citizens anymore. That's a nice thing.
No, you're just taking $50,000 in bribes instead in paper bags.
Listen. better than shooting an American in the street. Okay, so let's just, you know, like you got to weigh it out. 50,000 in a brown bag, or we gun down Americans. It's going.
Or body cams. So that's maybe we should be investing in companies that sell body cams, because you're going to need 200,000 of them now, because every ICE agent will have to have one.
Well, now they're doing facial recognition since June of 2025. There's a news story on Bloomberg yesterday that's undisclosed, and since 2025 they've used this thing like. It scans all the databases, whatever, so it can tell you who you are. And I think they've done it since June of 25, like 500,000 times.
Is that for schizophrenics then, who don't know who they are?
Pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, Big Brother is here.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just hysterical.
Where is he? Is he in your apartment?
He's behind you. Anyway.
So he's talking to it. It's the telescreen.
Oh my God.
Earlier, one of the fans said, "Are these guys AI?" Yes, we are AI. So it's just everywhere. So it's very interesting when you look at everything globally going on, and people poo-poo China this and China that. Well, we are getting to the point where we're becoming like China, where we're doing all the same thing with facial recognition and this and that. So and in the UAE, they do it when you get off the airport. Like when I go to Dubai, they use my face. I clear customs with my face. Everything's with my face. I board the plane with my face.
How do they use your face then for training purposes?
They do to scare people and little kids, especially around the holidays. But I'm just saying, that's where we're getting to a point where it's just biometric.
Well, there's a lot of people, joking apart, there's a lot of people that would quite like that. If you went into the airport, all you just do is wander in, and they would know who you are, and you didn't have to go through all the rigmarole of customs and everything else. So for
it's
the
a lot of convenience.
hubs.
We don't yet know the trade-off, I guess, but yeah.
You have no
the trade-off is being shot in the back of the head. That's what the trade-off is.
The wonderful surveillance state. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about Palantir Technologies, Peter Thiel, and in general, AI is, well, it's like, do you want to skip the password and use facial recognition to access this app on your phone? I frequently have said, yes, please. And not having to deal with passports to go in. I mean, sure, there's a lot of convenience. You want to go to a protest? Oh, that's going to affect your social credit rating. And you mentioned China and US, like TikTok now, owned by Larry Ellison instead of ByteDance, right? So all of a sudden, have you heard these reports? I mean, I've seen them on, actually, I guess mostly Meta.
Well, they're saying it's technical issues is what they're saying.
Biden wanted to get rid of it. Trump was like, we need to sell it. So they kept extending and extending. And so it's kind of like Bezos giving $75 million to Melania, to be in Trump's good graces. Ellis was like, hey, listen, I'll buy TikTok. And I'm sure he said to Donnie, buddy, booby, kissy, what are you going to do for me? He goes, this is what's going to happen.
I think what's the darker side of that is I think that Stephen Miller was whispering in Trump's ear, hey, look at the reach you've got and the amount of young people that who never would have seen you before, other than being on TikTok.
Or that more like Bannon, the campaign theorist, and that's more effective. Sure, that's a great argument. I mean, I'm just seeing people posting now that I made a video about ICE, or I made a video about Border Patrol, DHS, and 0 likes, 0 views. So it seems like since the TikTok went from Chinese ownership to US ownership, there's this new censorship setting, and basically you had more rights of expression when it was Chinese owned than US. But anyway, so
but TikTok, in TikTok's defense, they have said, well, it's because they're flipping the system over, so that's the reason why. Things that have things because because obviously there's a conspiracy theory for everything, along with the fact that we're all AI as well, with the sound of it. But so they came out and said at that weekend, the first weekend, sorry guys, we got tech problems, etc. etc.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine it is. It's in Dutch ophef. So handle sells, and so I guess if they want views, they should let people post about.
Well, it's the other thing, isn't it? It's the same. What did they say yesterday? The Trump people, the MAGA people. Oh, it's human error. It's like the Epstein files. They're supposed to be the names of the victims are supposed to be redacted, The names of the co-conspirators have been redacted, but a lot of the names of the victims are now in the public domain.
Yeah.
So the names, the email addresses, whatever. But but they've now come out and said, oh, look, that's all down to human error.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And the classic headline from The Onion, the CIA realizes for years that they've been using black highlighters instead of the normal yellow ones. We wanted you to really pay attention to these bits, but now everybody says it's redacted.
Listen, it's everything. It's all a game. And unfortunately, that's all it is. And it's who's in power controls the game. And once you realize that, you get comfortable with it. You're just like, whatever. It goes for the economy. It goes for the global politics.
That's terrible, Steve. That's a terrible point of view to take.
You know what? But it really is the point of view. And I've said this before for the last 3 or 4 years, and everyone thinks I'm an idiot. There's 8 billion people on the planet. And one day, 7 billion of them are going to decide to take a picnic. And when they do, it won't matter.
We know you said that before, and I said it 2 years ago. Wake up, America! You are sleepwalking into Nazi Germany of the 1930s. Go back and watch any of the shows that we were doing earlier 2 years ago. And again, then I said, get your order in early for your brown shirts because you're going to need them. And for some strange reason or another, I mean, it's totally incomprehensible on this side of the pond that such a well-developed, educated people like most Americans, I caveat most Americans, have let this all happen. You just let it happen, and then you go, oh, well, okay then.
Well, what's interesting to your point, shooting Americans apparently in the street is frowned upon because that's why we have a temporary government shutdown. Not just by Democrats, but by Republicans going, whoa, 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 whoa. And because remember a few years ago, Trump said I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody would do something. Apparently, if you shoot somebody in Minneapolis a couple times, people will do something. So I think there's a line now that has been drawn that's like, no. We want strong tariffs. We want a strong this. We want strong that. But you cannot do these tactics. So kudos to those people that are like, listen, I get what ICE is doing. They want to deport all the bad people. They want to do this. They want to do that. Totally get it, right? You got to do your gig. However, as one of the
on commission,
whatever it is, but like one of the police chiefs that watched the video of the 2 people being shot just said, it was on, I want to say one of them was on Fox, but probably not. It was probably on Bloomberg. But the police commissioner that was watching it just said, that's just poor training. He's like, literally goes, my men, who would shoot a lady's trying to get out of the way. The guy that they shot that was lying on the ground, they showed all these videos and he goes, that's just poor training. And he said, so that I think Americans got fed up with. And I think Trump's people said to him, listen, you're going to go down in the polls. We're going to lose the midterms. You need to correct this ship immediately. He's doing it. And so we'll go on to whatever it is, whether it's the Epstein files, TikTok, yada, right? So so this happens again. But I think overall Americans were getting to a point where like, we should stop this because I think
I think he's been flying a kite. Really, I do. I think Minneapolis is just seeing how far they can push it because hanging above all your heads is the by-elections in November. If he can at the midterms,
we don't know people are by, David. It's
okay. Well, so if enough people can be provoked and they can come on the street and enough violence can be stoked, then he can call a state of emergency. And I said this 2 years ago, and then that's it. Then elections can be halted, and he'll just trundle on. So hey.
We already said that's a coronation.
Yes, just a comment come in. Do we smoke weed? Yes, we do. Thank you very much. Sale? No. All right, there you go.
I read the comments. I don't comment on most of them because they come fast and heavy on Greg's show, and I'm just like,
I saw something as well on the news. It wasn't Bloomberg. I think it was 60 Minutes. Yeah, 60 Minutes, they, if you give them the wrong material, they'll just cut it like C-cut, and then you got to go to Canada to watch it. But Sunday night, I was briefly on 60 Minutes.
Oh, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, my friend.
Theater that brought me to Amsterdam.
But hold on. So how can you be briefly on 60 Minutes? That was like, so you're either 60 Minutes or less than 60 minutes.
I was a second of the 60 minutes.
He was a clip. He was a clip of this 20-minute segment. That's what he's trying to tell you. So,
right.
Now,
it was like 15 minutes, 13, 14 minutes, the whole thing. And I watched it on YouTube. But anyway, the last summer.
Riza from Habano Saturday goes, how long were you on 60 Minutes? He said literally 3 seconds is how long he was on 60 Minutes, Riza. So thank you for helping out.
The good news is, Boom Chicago celebrated an anniversary. And so 60 Minutes was like, wait a minute, how did these weird Amsterdam comedians produce names like Seth Meyers and Jordan Peele and Jason Sudeikis and such. They sent a camera crew. I was interviewed, but I did not make the final cut. And but so I was on stage when the cameras were in the theater, and I'm there on stage briefly.
Now we feel bad for you. So next month when we do the show, tell us what they asked you, and we will do the 60-minute interview.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. You can be
the and unlike a Melania movie, we will actually put your credits at the end of the show. So
we're not paying you $75 million.
Something to be proud of,
Yeah.
And no, how could anybody pay me to bitch about ice? Come on.
Now here's the best.
These numpties sending all these messages.
Calm down. Riza just wants to pay Greg a compliment as well. He goes, the Shapiro character straight from Seinfeld. There you go.
For sure.
Shapiro. That's gonna be your thing.
Well, George Shapiro was the producer for years and years. So that's it's a big showbiz name.
Well, we own showbiz. Come on, let's just be real.
It'll be like the Shapiros then. Shapiros now, so it's supposed to be Soprano.
Now listen, before Mr. Greg has to go do his real job, which is sing the national anthem at cockfights, let's get down to the important thing here. Climate news. What's going on in the climate
I always bring a few examples.
I know, that's why.
I went to, thank you, Stephen. And
you're welcome.
I spoke at an event this past week for Holland Biotech. And so Biotech, basically uses all the bacteria of the world unite, but make them work for us, as far as I understand. But so, it's a lot. It's just starting this whole industry, basically. So half of it is pharma,
Right.
And Emmanuel is going to pay the greatest prices for our American pharma. But anyway, the other half is like cultivated, lab-grown stuff. And
like MAGA supporters, then. Is that what you're trying to say?
It could be, yeah. But so lab-grown meat is one thing, and we can get to that.
Definitely MAGA. Then. Yeah.
The guy I was, the speaker before me, he is making lab-grown leather, and so you might have heard of pleather or imitation, stuff. It's still a pain in the ass. Leather breaks down. But so these guys are figuring out the same principle of lab-grown meat. Apparently, is like you go to an actual cow, you do sedation, and you take some of the bovine collagen cells. And then you can use those with stem cells or in the lab, and then you can grow them into actual leather, just like you would get from a cow. But he was explaining, two things. When you get the hide of a cow, it's the shape of a cow. The process of getting it off the cow is the most disgusting.
It's gross.
It's disgusting, yeah.
And it's wasteful. So I mean, you want little square sheets to work with. And so all of the excess stuff has to be basically, recycled or repurposed or whatever. But these guys in the lab, all they make is square sheets to work with. So he also said the value of the beef from a cow is nothing compared to the value of the like gram for gram or whatever,
Right.
of the leather from a cow. It's a $1 billion industry, from car seats to, high fashion to your sneakers.
Yep.
And so, he's maybe going to be a big game change in the whole field. And honestly, he even said if, killing cows becomes less profitable, then maybe the deforestation to feed the cows will slow down. So,
and the methane as well, because they're bigger. There's lots of
So that was the other question about there's lab grown meat, which is not it doesn't have approval for the EU yet, but parts of the US, yes, you can get lab grown. There's there's beef, fish, chicken, and like pork, but I've only heard about chicken being successful so far in and maybe fish. Singapore, I think, was the first one to.
Of course, they were.
I don't know
how they are. So that's what they do. Desperate Asian people.
But that's the financial hub, financial hub. That's the wrong term of Southeast Asia, right? I mean, they're
Singapore. Yeah, that's a hub.
Crazy rich Asians. That's Singapore they're talking about, right?
Sure, let's not stereotype, but if we got to go with that. So there's crazy rich Asians all over of Southeast Asia.
No, I mean the book that was written about.
It's supposed to be a part 2, a sequel. Apparently, there's 2 books out, and now there's a sequel where the girl at the end with the bar and runs away with the guy. It's a whole thing. Yeah, they have little white babies. They take over.
I enjoyed the first movie.
I missed it. It's very good.
But cool. So anyway, but I don't know why Singapore is so quick to experiment with to use their citizens as guinea pigs. But I haven't heard any horror stories yet.
Yeah, well, if you won't either. If nothing's going to come out of Singapore.
They're big on the whole green thing, aren't they, as well? Because they've got they're huge into recycling and everything. They got a massive recycling center, which is actually underneath the ground.
Less imports the better. But what do you think about lab grown meat? Would you?
I'm not having any lab.
I've met quite a few. So
that's true.
I feel like the additives they're already putting into normal beef.
Like a brain.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'll eat my steak and I'll eat my whatever.
That's the thing. You don't have to say goodbye to steak or grilling or whatever.
I just need to. You have to explain to me, not you per se, but the nutrients that. So I have a lab grown chicken or a lab grown beef, or I have lab grown whatever it is.
Yeah.
Someone has to explain to me how those nutrients are the same nutrients.
They're not. You have to take a tablet with it.
No, well, that's my point.
What are you talking about?
No. My point is though, you have to figure out, right? I don't care about that. I'm just saying, so am I getting the same proteins, the same this, same that? And if it's like, oh no, we inject it with all of the proteins and whatever, then to my point is, to almost what David just said, I might as well just take a tablet and get the same benefit from it instead of eating lab grown meat.
That's one of the issues they have here about this. I mean, I'm not sort of
all of this what you're saying is
against it.
Just wrong, which is why we should not put this up to a public debate.
If you look at some of the meat substitute products in the supermarkets, they're absolutely chock-a-block. Yeah, but they're chock-a-block full of salt, and they got a whole load of other
plant-based proteins are highly processed. So I protest.
So is it any more healthier for you? Who knows?
Yeah. Sorry, to answer Stephen's question. Yeah. So it's been explained to me because I'm not a scientist, but the process by which a cow eats grass and comes up with this delicious tasting combination of proteins and fats, that's like alchemy. It's magic. It's wonderful. But it was a huge hurdle. Can we recreate that in a lab? But apparently that's the idea, that they try to make these little baby cells grow just like cow cells would grow in a cow in a field. And I think their challenge is now, like, can they stimulate the fats as well as the protein? But so they're always, I mean, it's a new technology.
Who wants that? Who wants that? I mean, are you going to be able to, are you going to open up a factory in Texas? With all the beef down there?
you have 8 billion people on the planet, as we said earlier. There does come a point where the people and the consumption, you better come up with a plan B. So your plan B then would be your lab grown.
Well, we know what we did before.
It would use a lot less land and a lot less water. That's for sure.
Yeah. And
when we were hungry in the past, we just ate each other. So I mean, what difference is that?
Well, that's only on the weekends when we're all out. Anyway, so that's a crazy thing. Do you have anything else? Because Mr. Greg always has to go by the top of the hour, so he's almost.
I do have to wrap up, and so thanks for watching. You can see my comedy special on the 2OF channel.
Yeah, 2OF Entertainment, calling Leaving Trumpland.
What's it called? What's it called? Yeah, fantastic.
It's called Leaving Trumpland. So Trump fans, there's plenty of Trump in there.
So if you want to watch more mentally retarded lefty rainbow faggots, then
by the way, the gentleman did spell faggots wrong. He spelt it with an L. So sir, it's not spelled FLA. It's just
I saw that.
Faggots. Yeah. That's spelling. Yeah.
There is a flag carrying what do they call them? Flag corps for like in parades.
Faggots. Right. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So there's an all-gay flag corps in like Ohio, and they call themselves the Flaggets.
Maybe that's I didn't know that.
But
so stop it. Anyway, we want to thank everybody for watching. Greg will be back on the 10th of March. Same time, same bat channel. The show gets rebroadcasted later in the week. Don't forget to subscribe and like and
comment. Yeah, come on again. Let's have some more insults.
Love it. Okay, thank you, gents. Thank you, viewers.
See everybody later. Everybody, cheers. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Mwah.